Hi, all right, so in this problem, I'm going to work through Chapter 4, practice problem number 8. In this question, we are asked about a CD that charges a penalty for taking money out before it's matured. So in this example, I know that I'm having a penalty of 2 months of interest, okay, and my total CD is worth 20,000 and it's a 5% interest. And then another important thing to kind of keep in mind as you're working through these problems, we're not rounding intermediate calculations and we are rounding to the second decimal place. That's going to become important not just for right now, but when you get to the midterm, these sorts of things can be a determinant between getting the answer correct and getting it incorrect, and that is something that you want to make sure you're just careful about. Okay, so here, if we're talking about 2 months of interest, all right, we've got $20,000, all right, and we are multiplying that by 5% interest, all right. So first, so this would be how much interest I would earn per year, but I'm not really concerned with how much interest I'm earning per year. I only am concerned about this 2 months, all right. So I'm going to multiply this number by 2 out of 12, all right. So I earn this 2-month penalty, okay, so I'm multiplying my interest for the full year by 1/6 of it because I'm only interested in what I'm going to use for that 2-month period out of the year. So I just multiply this out, right? So I'm going to turn it into fractions just to kind of drive home this point. But 20,000, right, times 5 over 100 times 1 over 6. Right, and so if I'm doing it this way, just to without a calculator, right, I'm canceling out these zeros. I end up with 200 times 5, and I'm dividing this all by 6. Okay, so 1,000 over 6, or 500 over 3. Okay, so I haven't simplified any of my numbers yet, but when I divide this out, I'm going to end up with $166 and 2/3. Okay, so this question is asking for answer in terms of a decimal, but also we're rounding to 2 decimal places, not 1. So my final answer should be 166 and 0.67. All right. This is really finicky part of this class, but you want to make sure you're writing this number as 166.67, okay? 166.66 would be marked incorrect. 166.7 would also be marked incorrect. So you just want to be very careful that you're reading directions and answering the question as given, because if you get something wrong for something like this on an exam, you may not get your credit back or full credit for that respect. So you want to make sure you're really, really careful about rounding. All right, that's it for this one.